going to start with that. We are going to look and talk about all the 14 principles of management, which is given to us by Henri Fayol. So first of all, a little bit basic introduction about Henri Fayol. So Henri Fayol was a person who was born in the year 1941. He was graduated from the Mining Academy Saint Irene in 1860 in mining engineering. Started at the mining company's campaign de commentary foreman Decazeville, ultimately acting as its managing director from 1888 to 1918. So he became mining engineer and then finally he started working in one of the company as managing director, and he worked in that company from 1888 to 1918. So Fayol was the first to identify 4 functions of management. So planning, organizing, directing and controlling. This thing was found by Fayol, Henri Fayol. He also suggested that qualities a manager must possess should be physical, moral, education, knowledge and experience. So according to Henri Fayol, he said that every manager should have certain qualities. Qualities like physically he should be fit, he should be morally true to himself, educated, have good knowledge and should be experienced. So based largely on his own experience, he developed his concept of administration. He established a book, General and Industrial Management, in the year 1949, which has 14 principles of management developed by him. So finally, in the year 1949, Fayol wrote a book and the name of the book was General and Industrial Management. In that book, he has mentioned or talked about the 14 principles of management. This is all the biography kind of a thing of Henri Fayol. So if everything else is not important, but this particular line is important. That in 1949, Principles of Management was found by Henri Fayol in one of his books called as General and Industrial Management. He is known as father of general management. Again, very important. Henri Fayol is known as father of general management. F.W. Taylor is known as father of scientific management, and Henri Fayol is known as father of general management. So if you all are maintaining a notes kind of a thing, then it is very best, because all this small information you can write down over there, and while doing the revision, while revising everything, it will become easier for you to remember these points. Okay. So F.W. Taylor is called as father of scientific management, and Henri Fayol is called as father of general management. So now let us discuss the 14 principles of management given by him. First principle of management. See, in the last class, we have already understood what is principle of management, right? What does principle of management means? Wherein I said that principle is nothing but the guidelines or the statements used in the organization. So all these 14 principles which we are going to study today in the session, they all are implemented in the organization by the managers. But as we know that these principles of management are general in nature. So general in nature means it is applicable and it is relatable for all the organization, but manager can modify the principle according to himself. Like say for example, there are 2 organizations, ABC organization and XYZ organization. Ram is the manager of ABC organization and Sham is the manager of XYZ organization. And they have to implement the policy, the principal division of work. So the implementation style for Ram would be different, and implementing the same principle in XYZ organization by Sham would be different, because we know that the management thing is related to human beings, human behavior, and human behaviors are dynamic in nature. We already know that, right? If I give you a dance step, Mridula's dance step would be different. That means she will add her own expressions and everything. and it's possibility that Gokul will perform the same dance step in a different style. Okay, so that is the same thing here also. The principle of management remains the same, but applicability keeps on differing from manager to manager. So let us discuss the first principle of management, that is division of work. With the name itself, you all should get an idea that what does this principle talks about. This principle says division of work. The work in the organization should be divided. Division of work. All the work which is there in the organization should be divided into different employees, different individuals. Okay. So first of all, I will just give you a gist of what the principle is talking about, and then we will be reading the points which are given over here. But the basics you have to understand that the principal division of work says that every task, every job, every work in the organization should be divided amongst the different employees. One person, one particular person should not be given all the responsibilities and all the work. It should be divided between different employees who are working in the organization. Okay, so work is divided into small tasks and jobs. A trained specialist who is competent is required to perform each job. So work, first of all, we are going to divide it, and then we are going to distribute it to the person who has speciality in it, right? So division of work leads to specialization. So of course, we will give the work, we will assign the work to that person who we know that he is specialized in. I know if the person is good in counting, in calculation, then I will give him all the finance work. I know the person is good in selling the goods and services, so I will give him the sales work. So accordingly, I will divide the work and give it to the accountable or the people who are responsible. So according to Fayol, the intent of division of work is to produce more and better work for the same effort. Specialization is the most efficient way to use human effort. So Fayol says that the work in the organization should get specialization. Okay. Finance related work will be done by the finance department. Marketing related work will be done by the marketing department. And the job will be assigned to only that person who is specialized in it, who has a complete knowledge about it. So any business work can be done more efficiently if it is divided on the basis of specialization. Correct. If A is good in calculations and B is good in selling the goods, B is good in selling the goods and services. So of course, I should put B in sales department and A in finance department. But what if I do the opposite of it? What if I put B in finance department and A in sales department? Will I get the same efficiency or effectiveness of the work from A and B? Will I be able to get the same efficiency and effectiveness of the work from both A and B? If I put A in sales department and B in the finance department? No, I will not get it. Because A's specialization is in calculations, which is related to finance, and B's specialization is in selling the goods and services, which is related to sales. So I should also divide the work accordingly. Only then I can expect good efficiency and effectiveness from the people who are working for me. So division of work is applicable to all the kinds of work. Like in a company, we have separate department for finance, marketing, production, human resource development, etc. So the same thing they are saying, what I was saying, that in every company, we specialize the people by dividing them into different departments: finance department, marketing department, production department, sales department, human resource development department. So these are all the departments which we are specializing, and we will put only those people who are apt for it. A is good in calculation, so I will put him under finance department. B is good in sales, so I will put him under sales department. So the first principle which Fayol said was, he said division of work should be done in the organization. Can I say, if A is working in the organization, can I say that A that to manage the sales department, you only manage the finance department, you only manage the advertising department, you only manage the marketing department. Can I say this? You only manage HR department, that is human resource department. Can I say this to A? Will A be able to do that? Simultaneously, so many things, so many departments, and is there is a specification in all of these things? No. Okay, we don't know that. So what A should do? A should divide the work. A should specialize, make the specialized team, and then assign the work to that respective person. So collectively achieve production and sale targets of the company. For example, hospitals and schools. In hospitals and in schools also we specialize the departments, right? In schools there is one teachers department, then there will be staff department. In the staff department, all peons and aunties who are working in the school cleaning staff, that is one department. Then student council or students department. So in school and hospitals also we are dividing the work, right? We are not expecting one person to take care of the entire thing. That is what they all said. They all said that each and every work should be divided in the organization in a specialized form, in the specialized activity. Right? So this is the first principle which Fayol gave. Second, authority and responsibility. Understand each principle. Don't try to learn or mug up. Understand it first of all. Okay? So first one was division of work. Next one is authority and responsibility. So as I said in the last to last class of business studies also, I told you and explained you what does authority mean. What is authority? Authority means giving power to someone. Like what? So say suppose I will say, Mridula, that you have the complete authority that you have to check everybody's homework, whether everybody has done their homework or not. And if they have not done the homework, you have full permission, full authority that you can punish them. Punish them. Everyone, you can give them punishments if they have not done the homework. That means what I have given to her? I have given her authority. But what if I say, Mridula, you just have to check that everybody has completed their homework or not. So it is your responsibility to check and inform me that whether everybody has submitted their homework or not. If they have not submitted, you can't take any action. You cannot give them any punishment. So that is what? That is giving just a responsibility. There I am not giving authority. There I am just giving responsibility to Mridula. But if I say that, okay, fine, you check whether everybody has completed their homework or not. And if they have not completed, you can give them punishment, whatever you want. So what I have done, I have given her authority. I have given her right to pass orders or to make orders on somebody else. And responsibility does not give the right to order somebody else, but yes, the responsibility means you are responsible for that particular task. At your home also that might be happening. If you have a younger sister or a brother, your mother will say to you that, okay, you are responsible for taking care of your younger sister. You have to go and play with her in the garden, but you have to take care of her. And anything happens to her, I will catch you. You are responsible for her, for your younger sister or brother. So this is responsibility. And what if our mother says, okay, fine, you take your younger sister to the garden, and if any mischievous she is doing, she is not listening to you, you can give her one tight slap. So that is what? That your mother is giving you authority. Authority to pass orders. Right? So that is the basic difference between authority and responsibility. So authority is the right to give orders. See, as I said, authority means you are having a right to give orders to people, to somebody else. Whereas responsibility means what? It means just completing the given task successfully. Whatever the task is given to you, you just have to complete that task successfully. But when I give you authority means you have complete right to pass orders on somebody else. So according to the Fayol, now what did Fayol said related to authority and responsibility? There should be a proper balance between authority and responsibility. Fayol said that there should be a proper balance between authority and responsibility. It should not be like you are not giving the authority and giving responsibility to the manager, or you are not giving the responsibility and giving just the authority to the manager. No. There should be a balance between the authority and responsibility given to the manager. So a manager should have necessary authority to carry out his responsibilities. If I am telling Mridula that you are responsible to check whether everybody has completed their homework or not. So Mridula will say that, okay ma'am, I will do that. But in return, what if anybody has not completed the homework? What am I supposed to do? So in that case, give me this permission that I can give punishment to them. So if I say, yeah, okay, fine, you can give punishment to them when you want. So that means what? I'm giving her what? I'm giving her authority to pass orders on somebody else. So into managers also, there should be a equal balance between the authority and the responsibility. A manager should have the right to punish a subordinate for willfully not obeying a legitimate order, but only after sufficient opportunity has been given to subordinate for presenting his or her case. So Mridula also, when I gave Mridula the authority that okay fine, you can punish, if anybody has not completed the homework, you can give them punishment of whatever you like. But first of all, what will I say to Mridula? I will say that okay, but directly don't give the punishment. First of all, understand that why that particular student has not completed the homework. If he gives you valid reason, or if he gives you a proper justification for not completing the homework, then accordingly you will have to give the punishment. Then don't give him unnecessary punishment. Okay, so this is what here also they are saying. The managers first should listen to their subordinate that why they have not performed the particular task, and only then give them the punishment. Example, now they are giving you an example. A sales manager has to negotiate a deal with a buyer. So there is one sales manager who has to negotiate a deal with the buyer. She finds that if she can offer credit period of 60 days, she is likely to clinch the deal, which is supposed to fetch the company net margin of say rupees 50 crores. Now the company gives power to the manager to offer a credit period of only 40 days. So now there is one seller, sales manager seller. She says that there is one customer. The customer says that if you give me 60 days credit period, then I will be taking this offer. I will be taking this deal. And if the sales manager gives the 60 days credit period offer, then the company will earn 50 crores rupees. Okay, but the authority which the sales manager has is of only 40 days. The authority which the sales manager has is only for 40 days, and the client says that you give me 60 days ka credit period. If you give me this, I will close the deal and you will get the profit of 50 crore rupees. But the authority given to the sales manager is just for 40 days. This shows that there is an imbalance in authority and responsibility. She is responsible for doing that sales. She is completely responsible for doing that sales, but the authority given to her is very limited, or there is no proper authority given to her. So there is a disbalance between the authority and the responsibility which the sales manager has. So this should be avoided. This should not be there. Okay. So first principle, Henri Fayol's first principle was division of work. Second principle of management given by Henri Fayol was authority and responsibility. Wherever you all feel there is a doubt, you all have not understood, you all want me to repeat or give you all more examples, please stop me there and take it, understand it. Very important concept. It is going to be there for us in exams for sure. Third principle of management given by Henri Fayol is discipline. By the name itself, we understand now what does the term discipline mean. Discipline, we all know, manners, discipline, following all the code of conduct of the organization. You all also follow discipline at your home, at your school, when you visit to your any guest home, there also your mother says that being disciplined, right? This is the same discipline which is there in the organization as well. So discipline is the obedience to organizational rules and employment agreement which are necessary for the working of organization. So in the organization, all the rules and regulations, if the employee is following all the rules and regulations of the organization, then it will be said that he is in discipline. He is a disciplined employee. So now what does Fayol say? So Fayol says discipline requires good superiors at all levels, clear and fair agreements, and judicious application of penalties. So according to Fayol, what is discipline or what does discipline require? So first thing, all the superiors of the companies should be in a disciplined manner. Second, all the agreements, all the documentations of the company should be clear and fair. No illegality. Should be complete, clear and fair. And third, judicious application of penalties. That means whatever the penalties are there, fines are there, or whatever the punishments are there, basically if you are violating any rule or rules and regulation of the organization, then the application of that penalty or that punishment should be done according to the legal manner. This is the three things which he says. Example now, a company and workers has a mission to complete 100 pairs of shoes. Fine. Now there is one company, ABC company. Take example, ABC company. The mission of this ABC company. What is the mission of this ABC company? The mission is to complete 100 pair of shoes. Company promises to workers that there would be increase in their wages if they manage to complete the mission in the given time. So for say example, this mission, to complete this mission, there was a time period of 1 year. And it was said to all the workers that if at all you are able to complete the mission in the given time, we will increase your wages. Okay. So here discipline when applied would mean that workers and management both honor their commitment without the conflicts towards one another. So here how discipline will play the role? Discipline will play the role if both workers and management are obeying to each other and working according to the commitments made. What are the commitments made? Commitments made. Management said that I will increase your wages if you are able to complete the mission in the given time period. And what does workers should do? Workers should work dedicatedly in order to complete the mission. If both of them are working together in a unity without any conflicts, then we can say that it is a disciplined organization. So this is what the discipline means. And that means once this is done, once this mission is completed, then it is the responsibility of the management or the company, ABC company, to stand by their commitment. And what was their commitment? Their commitment was that they will increase the wages of the workers. So Workers should work dedicatedly, giving their full efforts to accomplish the mission of the organization, as well as once the mission has been completed by the workers in a given time period, it is the responsibility of the managers, of the management, to stand by their commitment. So if they both are doing so, then we will say that it is a disciplined organization. But what if after the work is done, workers are completing the mission on a given time period, but later on management says that no, I will not increase your wages even though you have completed your mission on time, and even though I have committed this thing, but still now I have changed my plan, now I have changed my mood, I will not give you the increased wages. Then in this case, that organization or that company will not be called as a disciplined company. Clear? So that was our third principles of management given by Henri Fayol. First, division of work. Second, authority and responsibility. Third, discipline. Now, fourth, which we are going to see is unity of command. Unity of command. Command means what? Command means, in the simple language, means order. Giving command to someone, giving order to someone, that is nothing but command. So according to this principle, there should be one and only one boss for every individual employee. So what does this principle unity of command says? Unity of command says that there should be only one boss to one subordinate. Otherwise, what will happen? If there are multiple bosses, multiple work will be assigned to the one person, right? If say suppose this is subordinate 1 and he has boss 1, boss 2, boss 3. Likewise, he has 3 boss. This boss will give him some task. This boss will give him some task. This boss will give him some task. Then he will give the deadlines. He will give the deadlines. This boss will give the deadlines. And poor one person, how can he finish all the tasks, all the jobs with a given deadline? Not possible for him, right? So that is why it is said, Henri Fayol said that in every organization, in every management, there should be unity of command. Only one boss should be there to one subordinate. Only one subordinate should listen and follow the command, follow the orders of only one boss and not of the multiple bosses. This was said by Henri Fayol in his fourth principle of management, that is unity of command. So he said only one boss to one subordinate. The principle of unity of command states that each participant in a formal organization should receive order from and be responsible to only one superior. So there should be only one boss to one subordinate, and he should give all the orders to only one the subordinate, and the subordinate is responsible for only the task or the work assigned by this boss. The boss can have multiple subordinates. That is not an issue. Okay, so don't clear the concept over here. Boss can have multiple subordinates, but subordinate should always have only one boss. Subordinate should never have multiple bosses, because if there are multiple bosses, then every boss will have ego clashes, attitude issues, anger issues. Then he will say that no, do my work first. Boss 2 will say no, do my work first. Boss 3 will say no, first my work is more of a priority work, so complete my task first. So likewise, what will happen? Every boss will sit on the head of that one subordinate. So this is what Henri Fayol said, this should not happen. The one subordinate should have only one boss. He should take orders from only one boss. If an employee gets order from two superiors at the same time, the principle of unity of command is violated. If at all subordinate is receiving the order from two bosses, or say suppose this is subordinate 1, but there is boss 1 and there is boss 2. If this is the scenario, then in this case we will say that the Henri Fayol's principle of management, unity of command, is getting violated because one subordinate is having two bosses. So Fayol felt that if this principle is violated, authority is undetermined, discipline is in jeopardy, order disturbed, and stability threatened. So Henri Fayol said that if one principle of management, that is unity of command, gets violated, then these are all the things which will get hampered or which will get impacted. Authority is undetermined. Authority is undetermined means what? B1 is also having the authority to pass orders to subordinate 1. B2 is also having the authorities to pass orders to subordinate 1. Discipline, no discipline. Rules and regulations can't be followed. Whatever commitments are there can't be followed because there is only one person who is working on simultaneously so many different multiple tasks. He can't follow timelines. Order is disturbed. Order, what, from where? He will feel so confused from where the orders are coming. B1 is saying something else, B2 is saying something else, B3 is saying something else. No stability, no proper work done, no discipline. So, if you violate this law, if you violate this principle of management, then there will be so many different issues which will be arising in the organization, like authority will be undetermined, discipline will be gone, order is disturbed, no stability, and so on. Dual subordination should be avoided. Dual subordination. If one subordinate has two bosses, then this situation is called as dual subordination. This is to prevent confusion regarding tasks to be done. Because if that's what I said, now B1 will give some other task, B2 will give some other task, then S1 will get confused. So to avoid this, there should be no dual subordination. Example also they have given to us. In a company, person has been guided by the marketing manager that the discount allowed to buyers should not be more than 10%. But at the same time, finance manager says that the discount given to the buyer should be 10%. So see what I am saying. Say suppose there is one boy called as Ram. He is a salesperson. Okay, and he is a subordinate 1. Boss 1, boss 2. Who is boss 1? Boss 1 is the marketing manager. Marketing manager says that if consumer asks for the discount, you are allowed to give only 8% discount. Then comes boss 2. Boss 2 is the finance manager. Finance manager says that if consumer asks you for discount, you can give them 10% discount. Now the salesperson will get confused, subordinate 1 will get confused. What should I listen? Should I listen to marketing manager or should I listen to finance manager? Marketing manager says 8% and finance manager says 10%. Now there will be the conflict between B1 and B2 also. B1 will say I have said 8% and it should be 8%. B2 will say no, I have said 10% and it should be 10%. In this case, Ram is getting sandwiched, no? He is getting confused between boss 1 and boss 2. So this is the problem which will arise in the organization if they have dual subordination, if they don't follow the principle unity of command. So from the above example, we can say that there is no unity of command. This can be avoided if there is a coordination between various departments. So now that is why what should we do? First of all, there should be a coordination between the different departments. If marketing manager is saying 10%, 8%, then finance manager should also agree to 8%. If they are saying 10%, all the departments should agree to their policies, to their rules and regulations which they are making. And that should be coordinated. First of all, that needs to be done. And secondly, there should be only one boss. Unity of command is needed in every organization. One subordinate should have only one boss. It should not have two boss or three boss or multiple bosses. Or else there is going to be conflict and lots of problems in the organization. Okay. So this was our fourth principle of management, unity of command. First, division of work. Second, authority and responsibility. Third, discipline. Fourth, unity of command. Fifth is going to be unity of direction. So again, by the name itself, we should come to know unit of direction means there should be a same direction, same path, same objective for the entire organization. Who makes the objective or the goals of organization? Which level of management makes the goals of organization? Come on, functions of levels of management we have already done. Which level of management decides or makes objectives for the entire organization? Hmm. All of you have forgotten. What are the levels of management? Reply. Top level, middle level, operational level. Then who decides the objectives or the goals of the entire organization? Which level of management? For the entire organization. Top level. Every level of management makes their own policies, goals and objectives. But for the entire organization, only top management makes the goal. And every level of management has to follow that, has to be in a clear decision, be in a clear position that they have to achieve the goal which has been set by the top level management. Very poor students, they're not studying. Just coming, sitting in the session, listening to what I'm saying and going. No revision has been done. You all don't remember anything. You all don't speak in the class. What and how are we going to do things? No contribution from your end. Nothing. Just coming and sitting and going. No studying from your end. No revisions, no nothing. This is not how it is going to work. Unity of direction means going towards the same direction, same objectives which has been prepared by top level management. The goal which has been prepared by the top level management, every level of management, every individual employee has to work towards the same goal. It should not be like somebody is working on some other thing only and they are not aware of the goal which has been made by top management. So according to this principle, all the units of an organization should be moving towards the same objectives through coordinated and focused efforts. Each group of activities having the same objective must have one head and one plan. Okay, so every level of organization, every unit of organization should work on the goal or the objective which has been set by the top level management. Their goal, their direction, their everything should be the same. And this will ensure unity of action and coordination. Example, if a company is manufacturing motorcycles as well as cars, then it should have two separate divisions for both of them. Of course, like say suppose Amul, the company company Amul is, they have different sections. They have butter section, Amul butter. They have milk section. They have curd section. They have chocolate section. Then what do we get of Amul? Whatever it is. So likewise, the brand is same, but it has divided its divisions. Those are the divisions of the company. So everyone should divide. The division has been made, but the goal is for the entire Amul organization, right? Same way they have given you the example. It says suppose there is one ABC organization who is manufacturing motorcycles plus cars. Then it might be possible that there are two different divisions of the same organization, but the goal is one of the entire organization, that is ABC organization. Okay. So that was unity of direction, that every individual has to work towards the same goal, same direction. Next is subordination of individual interest to general interest. Now this principle basically says that every individual who is there in the organization should focus less on your individual interest and think more on the general interest of the organization. So Henri Fayol says that you should think less about yourself individually and think more about the entire organization. So according to this principle, the interest of an organization should take priority over the interest of any one individual employee. Or say suppose me only, okay, I am working in an organization, I am an individual person, but there are 20 more people, 20 more employees or 20 more colleagues which I have with me in my organization. So Henri Fayol says that don't think just about yourself. That means I should just not think about myself. I should also think about these 20 people who are working with me. Every worker has some individual interest for working in a company. We know that individual goals, right? My individual goals for working in the organization or working in the company would be to get good money, good salary. Then I might have, my dream would be to buy a own house, to buy a new car, to go for shopping. So those are all the individual interests. But same way, company has also have its own objectives, own aims, own plans, right? Like I have the plans, like company also has its plan. So in another situation, an individual employee may demand some concession which is not admissible to any other employee, like working for less time. Now for say suppose they have given you an example, let us consider one company, ABC organization. In ABC organization, Ram and Sita, okay. Now Ram will say that due to my comfort and the timing of the company is, say suppose, morning 9 to afternoon 3. Now Ram will say that no, I'm not very comfortable to get up at early morning, so I want to postpone my time. I want that I should come to office at 11 and leave the office by 4. But Sita is coming 9 to 3. Then how come Ram say I want to come 11 to 4? This is not the good thing. This is not the appropriate thing, because it is unfair to Sita then. So in all the situation, interest of the group or company will supersede the interest of any one individual. That means we have to suppress the individual interest and focus on the group interest or organization's interest. Organization's interest is the time from 9 to 3. But there is only one employee, Ram, who wants to come from 11 to 4. So we can't do that. We have to suppress Ram's interest. We have to suppress the individual interest and focus more on the organization's interest. That is not possible for ABC organization to give the timing 11 to 4. Other interests of the workers and stakeholders are more important than the interest of any one person. There are 10 employees who are working, there are 10 employees who are working 9 to 3. And only Ram has problem to come from 9 to 3. He wants to come from 11 to 4. No, organization can't do that. Why for one person organization will be impartial or biased? No, organization will suppress the individual interest and focus more on the organization's interest. So, Henry Fayol said there should be subordinate the individual interest to general interest. Give less importance to individual interest and give more importance to general interest or organization's interest. See? So that is subordination of individual interest to general interest. Seventh principle says remuneration of employees. Now what do we mean by remuneration? The remuneration means nothing but salary, very good, or wages. I hope the difference between salaries and wages are clear to us. If not, you all can ask me. If not, then I'm going to continue. Fine. So remuneration to all the employees. Now what does here Henri Fayol say? The overall pay and compensation should be fair to both employees and the organization. Yes, of course. What is the budget of the organization? Accordingly, he will offer to the employee. If there is a very small time company and if employee says that I want 10,000 rupees as my salary, but the profit of the company is only 20,000, then how come he will give 10,000 salary to one employee? That is not the correct thing to do. So it should be fair and it should be possible for both employees as well as organization. Employees should be paid fair wages. Each and every employee working in the organization should be paid fair wages. At the same time, it should be within the paying capacity of the company. So as I said, it should be under the paying capacity of the company. Irreasonably, you all cannot demand anything. If it happens, then smooth working of the company. If this is the case, then there would be a smooth working condition of the company. If you only imagine, I'll give you a situation. There is one ABC company. The profit of ABC company is 20,000 rupees. And there is one person called as Ram who is an employee of this ABC organization. Ram says, I want the salary or the wages for 10,000 rupees. Is it possible for ABC organization to give 10,000 rupees to Ram when they are receiving just 20 rupees in their hand at the financial year, at the end of the financial year? Is it possible for them to give one employee 10,000 rupees? Is it possible? Tell me. Is it possible for the company to give 10,000 rupees to Ram? No, it is not possible, of course. So, remuneration should be fair to both employees as well as the management. Employees cannot irreasonably demand for the salary which is not possible for the management. Same way, just imagine now there is one ABC organization and there are two people working, Ram and Shyam, and they both are managers. Same post, same duty, same responsibility, everything same. But the salary of Ram is 20,000 rupees and Shyam's salary is 15,000 rupees. So that means what? There is a partiality, some kind of partiality, biasness. So this should also not be done according to Henri Fayol's principle, remuneration of employees. Next principle is centralization and decentralization. So two very important terms, centralization and decentralization. Centralization means what? In the organization, only the owner or the manager has the responsibility to make all the decisions. All the decisions will be made by him. Every decision regarding any rules and regulation policies, everything will be done by this person. He will not talk to other employees who are working in the organization. He will not take any opinions, any suggestions from the other employees who are working in the organization. He will not do that. He will, everything, every in charge, every decision, everything will be taken by him only. So that thing is called as centralization. Whereas there are few organizations who follows the policy of decentralization. Decentralization means what? Manager will take opinions or suggestions before making the decisions from all the employees of the organization. He will take the decisions, he will take the ideas, he will take the opinions, suggestions from all the employees who are there in the organization, and then he will make a decision. This happens under decentralization. But under centralization, all the decisions are made by the manager. He will not consult, he will not take any opinions, ideas or suggestions from the other employees in the organization. So the concentration of decision-making authority is called as centralization, and decentralization means distribution of decision-making authority at various levels in the organization. Centralization means the decision manager, that's all. He will not take any ideas, any opinion from any other person or any other employee in the organization. Whereas in decentralization, what will happen? In decentralization, the manager, before making any decision, manager will consult or take ideas or opinions and suggestions from the other employees as well. The degree of centralization will depend upon the circumstances in which the company is working. In general, large organizations have more decentralization than small organizations. So centralization and decentralization completely depends upon the size of the organization, whether the company is small or whether the company is large. Large organizations follow decentralization and small organizations mostly follow centralization. Example, panchayats in our country have been given more powers to decide and spend funds granted to them by government for the welfare of villagers. So in the villages, we know that there are panchayats sitting. Okay, this panchayat takes all the decision for the entire village. All the decision will be taken by the panchayat. They will not take any suggestion, any opinions from the villagers there in the village. All the people who are there in the village. The panchayat will make their own decision and finalize their own decision. Before finalizing the decision, they will not take any opinions, any guidance or any ideas from the people living in that village. So that is an example of centralization. Fine. Next, ninth principle of management is scalar chain. Now what is scalar chain? See, this is something new. Till 8, everything which you studied was understood conceptual wise and understanding wise. You all might have heard also something before. It's scalar chain. Now what is scalar chain? So the formal lines of authority from highest to lowest ranks are known as scalar chain. Hierarchy. Hierarchy is basically nothing but scalar chain. From highest to lowest authority. Top, middle, lower. This hierarchy is nothing but what scalar chain. Organization consists of superior and subordinate. By now we know that every organization has set of people, out of which few people are superiors and few people are subordinates. So according to Fayol, organization should have a chain of authority and communication that runs from top to bottom and should be followed by managers and the subordinates. So what does Fayol says? Fayol says that in organization there should be a proper scale followed, proper hierarchy should be followed. Anyone should not talk to anyone in the organization. For say suppose A is the boss, B is the subordinate, C is more subordinate. So C should not have the authority or responsibility to directly go and talk to A. C should talk or convey his message to B first, and then B will go and talk to A. Same way, if A wants to talk to C, then A should not directly go to C. A should first talk to B, and then B will talk to. So this is what this hierarchy should be followed in the organization. This was said by Fayol's ninth principle of management, that is scalar shape. So here you can see one diagram. When you are writing the answer related to scalar chain, you are supposed to make this diagram extremely important. So what does he say? He says that if F has something to do with N, F has some work to do with N, then he should not directly go to go to N. What he should do? He should first go to E will go to D will go to C will go to B will go to A. Then A will go to L will go to M, and finally M will convey the message of F, which is given by him to N. Henri Fayol says that this chain should be followed. If, say suppose, if C has something to do with N, then he should not directly come and speak to N. He should first go to B will go to A will pass the message to L will pass the message to M, and then finally M will pass the message to N, which has been forwarded by C. You should not directly go to that person and talk. You should follow the hierarchy instead. This was said by Fayol. So according to Fayol, this chain should not be violated in the normal course of formal communication. However, if there is an emergency, then E can directly go to O through gangplank as shown in the diagram. This is shorter route and has been provided so that communication is not delayed. So Fayol says see how intelligent Fayol is. Fayol says that this hierarchy, this format should be followed in every formal organization. But now, as I said, if E wants to pass any message to N and it is very urgent, where it's an emergency, then just imagine that they will have to go to D will pass to C will pass the message to B will pass the message to A, then again A will pass the message to L will pass the message to M will pass the message to N. Finally, he will get the message which has been passed by E. So, what if the work is extremely very urgent? The decision needs to be made very urgently. It's an emergency. Then in that case, the decision will be delayed, right? Because so many people in the hierarchy are there, the decision making will get delayed. It will get hampered. So in that case, Fayol said that don't worry. In that case, if the decision is extremely very important, it's very urgent, then in that case, you can directly go to that person and talk. So say suppose E wants to pass any message to O, he can directly go and talk to O. Same way, if F wants to pass his message to M, then he can directly go to M and talk. And this situation will be called as gangplank. This situation would be called as gangplank. Very important. But when this gangplank is allowed, this is allowed in the emergency situation, in the urgency situation. If it is very urgent, extremely urgent, and extremely urgently you have to make a decision, in that case it is allowed, or else this is not allowed. Fine. So that was our ninth uh, principle of management given by Henri Fayol. That was scalar chain. Scalar chain means Henri Fayol said that you have to follow the hierarchy in order to pass the message. You have to follow the hierarchy in order to pass the message. But if at all it is very urgent, if at all it is in emergency, then in that case it is fine. You can directly go and contact to that person, but and that process will be called as gangplank. Fine. Next principle of management is order. Now what is order? What do we mean by order? Order means follow proper order. So here people and material must be in suitable places at appropriate time for maximum efficiency. So order here does not mean passing order, giving command. Order means everything should be in the place. Related to what? Related to people and related to materials. That means every organization, since we said that every organization is divided into specialized units like finance, marketing, sales, etc. So he says what? That every organization should be divided. Say suppose this is one organization. Now he says what? There should be proper specifications done. This is, say suppose the organization should be divided into different departments. Say suppose we are giving the name A row, B row, C row and D row. In A row, finance people are sitting. In B row, marketing people are sitting. C row, sales department is sitting. D row, HR department is sitting. So this is what, this is, everything is in order. Now anybody who wants to visit or who wants to talk to marketing department people, he will directly go to the B row. If finance people wants to contact HR department, they will directly get up and go to D row. They will not find anyone as a like this. Okay, they will not have, they don't need to find people like this. They know that everything is in order. For example, first aid kit. It should be there in the cupboard properly so that anybody when needs it, they can directly go to that cupboard, get that first aid kit out and make the usage of that first aid kit. Simple. So Fayol says everything in the organization related to people and material should be kept in a proper order so that anything is required by anyone, they can directly go to that place and get that. So if there is a fixed place for everything and it is present there, then there will be no hindrance in the activities of business or factory. This will lead to increased productivity and efficiency. How? If there is anything urgent, finance department needs to talk to the sales department. Very important, very urgent, related to some decision making. Then finance department, these people can directly go and get up and go to the C row because they know in the C row, finance sales department people are sitting. So directly I'll go to the C row, find out the salesperson, talk to that person and make a decision. This will improve my productivity and efficiency. No wastage of time. But I'll not have to find that person like this in the entire organization, right? Companies are very big, organizations are very huge. How are you going to find the individual person like this? So it is good that everything is in proper order at a proper place. You can directly go and get that thing from that place. No need of searching here and there. So that will increase your productivity and efficient. Next is equity. What is equity? We all know that equity is nothing but equality. Very important. Every employee working in the organization should be treated with equal equality. Nobody should be treated impartial or biased. Never you should be impartial or biased with anyone. We treat everyone equally. So according to this principle, all employees should be treated as fair. This principle emphasizes kindliness and justice in the behavior of managers towards workers. There should be no discrimination against anyone on account of sex, religion, language, caste, belief, or nationality, etc. So this principle says that it is the responsibility of the organization or the manager that they have to treat each and every employee of the organization equally. There should be no discrimination based on sex, religion, language, casteism, belief, nationality, or anything such like that. Nowadays, MNCs, people of various nationalities work together in discrimination-free environment. Equal opportunities are available for everyone in such companies to rise. In India, in Indian company, you can see so many people coming from South Africa, USA, Russia, China, coming and working in Indian companies. Same way, our Indian people are going to other foreign countries like Ireland, Russia, Japan, USA. They are also going there and working. So now there is mostly no discrimination or no such kind of impartial things are made. 12th comes is the stability of personnel. Stability of personnel. Stability means being stable. Personnel means employee or person. Stability. Stable. If I am joining any organization, I have to be 100% sure that I have some stability over there. That means they will not ask me or they will not remove me just like that within 5 days, 10 days, or a month. I need a proper assurance that I am stable over there. Every employee needs this stability. Every employee wants to feel secure, wants this stability that if I am joining any organization, I should not be removed without any reason unnecessarily within few days or few months. This is stability. So according to this principle, employee turnover should be minimized to maintain organizational efficiency. Employee turnover means what? When employees leave the company or organization. Now, the leaving of the organization by the employees can be because of themselves. It can be voluntarily they might be leaving the organization, or at times organization might remove them. So this is called as employee turnover. Employee turnover should be removed or should be reduced from all the organizations. Person should be selected and appointed after due and rigorous procedure. Once the employee is employed, then they should be kept for some fixed tenure. They should be given reasonable time to show the result. So if when you are finding a suitable candidate for the post or for the job, you should make sure that you are finding a very good person, because lots of procedure are there beside selecting the behind selecting the employee. So you should have to be sure that the employee which you have selected for your organization is 100% genuine and 100% perfect for your organization. And once you have selected that employee, make sure that you are making that employee stay for at least few fixed tenure. Fixed tenure means for fixed period of time. For say suppose 6 months or 3 months. You will give that employee 3 months to prove himself. So even if he is doing mistakes, let him do and learn by his mistakes. But if he is not learning by his mistakes, then the extreme step would be to remove him from the organization. But unless then, don't remove him. Let him make the mistakes and let him learn from his mistakes. But give them some stability. So that is stability. Any ad hocism in this regard will create instability or insecurity among employees. Recruitment, selection, and training costs will be high. So stability in tenure of personnel is good for the business. When you are finding right person for the right job in your organization, you have to go through many procedures. And in that procedures, there are so many costs or there are so many expenses behind it. So that also gets wasted if you just keep on removing people from your organization. So don't do that. People also will have that fear before joining your organization. They will also feel that this organization just keeps on removing the employees. Don't give that insecurity, don't give that fear in the minds of the people. Yes. So that should be avoided. They should be given proper stability. Then next is initiative. What initiative? Employees should take their initiatives. Employees should take the initiatives, bring creativity in their work, bring improvement in their work, encourage themselves, motivate themselves, and work for the organization. So workers should be encouraged to develop and carry out their plans for improvement. What initiatives? So like first, taking the first step with self-motivation, give more creative ideas, take the step self-motivated, give ideas, give opinions, thinking out and executing the plan, think for something new and execute it, whatever you are thinking. One of the traits of an intelligent person, be intelligent, be thoughtful in your thinking. Initiative should be encouraged. So any initiative taken by the employees should be encouraged by the managers. They should push them. They should motivate them more. But it does not mean going against the established practice of the company for the sake of being different. Good company should allow employees to initiate and give their own ideas and opinions. So when you have to initiate, when you have to take initiative, that does not mean you have to go against to the company's policies or company's rules and regulations. You have to obey the rules and regulations which a company has. With that, you can come up with the new ideas and opinions. Last principle of management is aspirate the corps. Now, what does this mean? Aspirate the corps in a very simple language means nothing but team spirit. Okay? It's not too simple. Aspirate the corps means nothing but team spirit. That means you have to work as a team. You should work as a group. Don't work as an individual. Work as a group. So, management should promote a team spirit of unity and harmony amongst employees. Managers should promote teamwork. More and more of teamwork should be promoted by the managers. Managers should replace I with we in all his conversation with workers to foster team spirit. This is a very common question, factual MCQ question, in which I'll frame the question and show it to you all. In which principle of management it has been said that I should be replaced with we? Four options will be given to you, and the correct option is aspirate the corps. Under aspirate the corps, it is said that I should be replaced with we. That means we should not just say I. We should say we. We should be thinking about everyone and not about the ourselves only. And this will give rise to a spirit of mutual trust and belongingness among the team members. So this is what every manager should do. Promote the team spirit, aspirate the corps. So these were the 14 principles of management. Okay, just to revise, we will start from, I'll just name it from the beginning. First one which we saw was division of work. Second, authority and responsibility. Third, discipline. Fourth, unity of command. Fifth, unity of direction. Sixth, subordination of individual interest and to general interest. Seventh, remuneration of employees. Eighth, centralization and decentralization. Ninth, scalar chain. 10th, order. 11th, equity. 12th, stability of personnel. 13th, initiative, and 14th was esprit de corps. These are the 14 principles of